Hi, Anjanette.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on just a second. Okay. Are you there?
I'm here. I can hear you, and I see you both.
I have to start this Hangout on my laptop, and I have to join it on my iPad.
Not too complicated for my.
My laptop. I don't know either. I think other people can't hear me. I'm not sure, but anyway.
So did you look
We're
at
on, and that's all that matters.
Ricardo's business plan? Looks pretty good.
Yep, I did. Yep, I think it looks really good.
A few more things we can finalize tonight, but I think he should just type it as we talk and just finalize it tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks good. I will. So, how much work on Leanne's part did you do? Because I talked to, when I asked on the Google Doc to Ricardo about what information data he received from Leanne, because I hadn't seen it, he hadn't gotten
You're
it.
fading a little bit in and out.
So, three are going to break that up.
You froze out on me, Anjanette. I see you, but I don't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I need to mute this.
So the last thing I heard was, how much did you work on Leanne's paper?
Yeah, because it looked like you did most of it. That's why I'm asking.
A bunch.
Yeah. So Ricardo also said that she didn't give him the data for the spreadsheet that we agreed that we would all do.
Right.
It's like, really? It is what it is. It's done, but we'll just have to go from there.
Yeah.
So my laptop, just so you know, I can always put the video back on if this shuts off, but I can hear people, but they can't hear me. I don't know that's why I have to invite from the computer.
Okay.
We have a big storm going on here in Colorado. I got thunder and lightning going on, so who knows?
Okay. If worst comes to worst, I'll call you on my phone and we can talk. You can talk
Yeah.
on the phone. So the part that I did, the first three sections I consider those done. Are you in agreement as far as using posting?
On hers, and I would like her to do it. I asked who, and it was probably specifically to the parts that you address, but as far as this is going to get done, that's great. But for me, for an implementation plan, as far as being detailed, I think we need to say who is going to do it. And when are they, how are they going to do it? I think it's really simple to do that. I think we have a project, in my mind, we have a project manager, and that project manager certainly could be the nurse manager, or the nurse manager could have help from a project manager from our department or whatever. But it just says this is magically going to happen. So
right.
who is going to be the catalyst to get the construction going, or, that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Just so we can talk to her about that to fill it in a little bit more.
And I put comments on it, so hopefully she can go and read those and fill those in. And then And then I had some specific, because I was kind of waiting for all the other pieces to get done before I kind of tweaked the evaluation, because I didn't want to have to redo it again and again.
Right.
So I wanted to specifically kind of address the comments that everybody made on D2L to make sure that I'm hitting all those pieces, and then I'll work on that tomorrow.
Okay.
I submitted my portion for the other paper, the 30-point paper, the cost effectiveness. So I went ahead and I put that on the Google Doc that I had sent out. So my portion's on that. It's a little over 3/4 of a page, and the whole paper is supposed to be 3 pages long. So I said on there that I can, you know, dial that down if need be.
But that should be okay if we all did about that much. It would be 3 pages.
If we all did like 3/4 and maybe you know, some less, we'll see. And then we'll just see where we're at. And then I'll just ask if people. Oops.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, that's okay. So
one thing I was thinking that we need to do on the budget paper, when everybody's done, go through that reference page with the fine-tooth comb. Because did you see on the rubric that she deducts 0.25 for every error? Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm going to ask that everybody look at it before I submit it. So what I'll do is I'll put it in.
Because I know there's references on there that we aren't necessarily using. So we just have to condense them and make sure they're all in the right form.
Okay, so I'll have everybody look at that, and we're all responsible for that, not just me, because references are not my strong point, which is why I have a software program that does them for me. So
can you put the paper into the program?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do the cover page, and then so that gives us like the header and the page numbers. And then I just need the cover page for the title and all of our names. So I started our cost effectiveness paper that way just because I had to format my references, so I just put my section in there. So all I need to do is paste and copy each other's section in there. And I can also paste and copy references, you know, otherwise I have to manually put them all in again, and it formats it, but I can paste and copy it. And then what I'll do is then I'll just save that doc and I'll email it to everybody to look at it to make final, you know, tweaks or whatever. So it's just a Word doc, and then you know, whatever's it's done and stuff, I can send it first, and Leanne and Ricardo or whatever, you know what I mean? So it kind of makes the rounds when people aren't making different adjustments after we did. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And we can all do that too, but
so, you know, I'll have mine done, my part of that second paper, the cost effectiveness, mine will be done tomorrow. So we can get it all early. Just to run this by you, because it says detailed rationale for the 3 key budget items, right?
Oh yeah, the rationale piece. So how did we want to do
on the cost effectiveness, cost effectiveness of the overall business? That's the one I'm doing. The 10-pointer one. The only part worth 10 points. Oh my God, the pressure.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking. Okay, so you're talking about the cost effectiveness paper.
Yeah, I'll have it.
Right.
I'll have it on there tomorrow. But for it says talk about at least 3 key budget items. So let me run by the ones I picked and see if you think they're good or if you have other ideas. I was going to talk about the 3D mammogram, and I was going to bring in that article that Leanne submitted was actually pretty good about the high cost of false negatives and stuff, so I thought that'd be a good point. And then, of course, the building consolidation. The third one would be staffing, and then the fourth one would be the ability to transmit images so we don't have to always have so many doctors. Those are my 4 points I was going to address. Do you think those sound appropriate? Oh, can't hear me?
Yeah, in my evaluation, you will see that I address the digital imaging.
Hey, Ricardo, you there?
I am. Hello, ladies.
So we can hear each other, but Anjanette, we always have a problem with Anjanette. I don't know why. I think it's because she does it on her iPad.
I'm doing it off my tablet.
And it's fine?
Yeah.
No, Anjanette always goes in. We always lose her.
Yeah.
Then she goes out. Now she's going out, and then she comes back in.
Okay.
How you doing?
Doing well. Much better now. Off of work.
You look kind of tired.
This is my usual look.
You're usually tired.
Yes, ma'am. It's temporary, right?
Yeah. When we get done with all this, we'll be better.
Yeah, I agree.
Jeanette?
Ricardo, I was just saying we have big storms in Colorado. Shoot. Sorry.
No problem.
So
I
just real quick.
understand.
So, Dina, look at my my portion on the paper that I did. That I already posted because it has to do with patient outcomes and the cost effectiveness, and it's very much around the digital imaging and why we want to upgrade patient outcomes and why that's cost effective and why it's a cost effective to equipment or whatever. So that kind of ties into what you were just talking about.
So you're saying that's a good thing?
Yeah. So look at mine so you can see what I did with it, because I think it really flows together good.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
So, Ricardo, I was just telling her for the cost-effective evaluation paper that we have to write after we finish the budget.
Yes.
I have the first category, and it says describe with detailed rationale for more than 3 key budget items. And the ones I'm going to talk about are why we spent the money on the 3D mammogram, and I'm going to talk about the high cost of false positives and all that stuff that Leanne submitted in that article. The second thing I'm going to talk about is buying that telecomputing thing that you did so that we can have the ability to transport and storage, which they didn't before. The third one, I'm just going to talk about consolidating the buildings, not using wasted resources and all that kind of stuff. Then the fourth one will be the difference in staffing. So those were the 4 key. It says at least 3. I'm going to do those 4 key budget items in my section. So that's what I was just telling her. And then she was saying her evaluation will kind of flow with that.
Perfect.
And I told her I'd have that part of mine in tomorrow. You probably saw she started the Google Doc thing, and she already did hers. She's way ahead of us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Can you hear us, Anjanette? She can't hear us. Hello, Anjanette. I'm a little worried. Next week, it looks like we have to do like some sort of video presentation.
Oh wow.
I'm assuming of the budget. So I hope we don't do it on this. I hope it's some other thing, because if we are, we got to fix Anjanette somehow.
I agree.
Because we can't keep fading out.
No, completely agree.
Can you call me?
Yeah.
So I can hear. Can I hear like every sentence? I'm like.
Let me see where you're at here. Hang on.
Okay, no problem. So your budget looks great. Your template looks great, Ricardo. I put some comments on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was a lot of work.
Ricardo, are you able to bring that up and just type as we talk, and we'll just finish that baby off?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. I just had a couple things that I told you about.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling you, Anjanette. Can you hear us, Anjanette, right now? Damn her computer. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been getting some bad storms up there for sure.
Oh, damn it. All right. I'm going to put it on.
Can I put you on speaker?
But then I'm going to put it low. But then you guys won't live twice.
Okay. So we about things that we wanted to add on Ricardo's budget, and do you think? Well, first thing, Ricardo, is that under secretary and the rooming text, make sure you add 0.2 FTE. I tried to type it in there, it wouldn't let me.
For rooming techs?
Can you hear me, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was frozen, sorry.
No worry.
So just put 0.2 FTE, because it wouldn't let me type anything in it at that point.
So, rooming techs, you want me to type times 2 FTEs?
Yeah, because that's what we said. We said 2 2 full-time rooming techs and 2 full-time secretaries. And you just
Right.
put secretary. We should make sure we put 2 FTEs on each of those so it's specific.
Okay.
And then, Anjanette, I suggested, but I don't know what you guys all think, if we need to put a cost for like building maintenance / utilities per month, or do you think that we just assume we're covered under Dura for that? Or do you think it should be in our budget? And then also a third one would be grounds maintenance. So I don't know if we need to add that or if we are covered under Dura.
I think the grounds maintenance should already be being done.
Okay. What about building maintenance and utilities? I would think that would come under our budget, don't you think?
Right.
So if you want to type that in, and I don't know how much would you say. And then the cost of running each machine, remember I said that, one for CT, one for MRI, is $10,000 a month for each one. And I got a source for that if we want it. It's just that because of the high cost of energy and cooling that it takes to run them, so that would be an additional cost to add in there.
He did include cooling. I saw it.
I think I don't think I included cooling. I think that was on the other one. It was on the one that Dina had created.
No, there
Let me
was
see.
cooling on yours. I saw it. Because I was like, oh, that was a good idea.
Let me see.
And then we had, Ricardo and I, when we talked today, Anjanette, we had one question about for each of the MRI insurance was like almost $500,000 a month. Is that true representation, that high of money?
Well, I think if we're going to use, I mean, it depends on how many patients. So I looked at how many patients we currently have and divided that up into 52 weeks a year, and then divided that up into 12 months. And then I number for HMO, so that majority of our patients are HMO or insured, and I took an average of what the cost is, because there's a very big range for it. It can be very expensive for those. Doesn't mean we're going to get reimbursed 100% of what our billed charges are. So I took that into consideration as well. And then the Medicare was the second bucket, and that's why it was significantly less. And then your Medicaid is going to be nothing, I mean, really. But we really aren't going to, I mean, it depends on what kind of population that we have. But, in my mind, Medicaid is really 1 to 2 patients per week at the most, and so is self-pay, because self-pay really isn't available for most people. But we do have self-pay plans. I mean, I work on the insurance for really small businesses and stuff, but with the exchanges, a lot of times it's cheaper. HMO, I went heavy on HMO too, to give us more
okay. And I see you have all that
versus
on that
Medicare.
thing that you submitted. Ricardo, do you have that somewhere in all our emails, the thing that Anjanette submitted with all the costs of the mammograms and everything?
Yep.
So at the top of it, is part of the justification. I'm sure you'll have to put that in your paragraph somewhere.
Right.
Well, and we need to kind of talk about that, and I don't know where Leanne is, but I really want to stick to this agenda because I want to make sure that we stick under to an hour. I mean, we're on the budget template, but we're already running into, I just want to make sure we get everything completed. So for the budget template, I think it looks really good. I think we just have some final tweaks to do. But I guess my question is, are you questioning the amount of money? Should we put more into Medicare than we are?
No. I'm fine with it, and it's fine as long as we got our reasoning.
Right.
It made us make a lot of money, so that's good, right? So. But he's going to have to say why we chose.
And it depends on what our contracts are. If they're non-contracted facilities, I mean, we could be in a I want to say a resort or vacationing kind of community, and so it doesn't mean we're contracted with certain insurance carriers. So several of the people that come to our facility may be vacationers, and so what happens when you don't have a contract is that they pay 100% bill charges. If it's medically necessary or urgent. But
And Jeanette, I think the concern more was with what Medicare pays for the with the MRI CT, which is where it says $400,000 a month and upwards. I think that was just kind of the concern of where we got those numbers.
That was
I
the
mean,
insurance, not the Medicare, but under the private insurance.
Right. So, let me see.
But it's fine. Like I said, we just have to
The
say,
template, I'm not sure.
just have to justify that number, which is
Right.
fine, because it sounds like you can do it, Ricardo, from her information.
Right. And then, like Anjanette said, just because that's what it shows there doesn't mean that's what they're going to reimburse us. Medicare or Medicaid usually only reimburses about 70%, depending on your quality. Of course, all that's going to affect, and I can bring that up in in my paragraphs as well, is that our quality right now will produce a 90% revenue from Medicare.
Okay.
So take a look, Ricardo, at what I put in the cost effectiveness paper, because I addressed that as well for the modifiers.
Okay. I'm actually
So
looking
it
for
has
the
to
cost.
do with. So there's an invitation to edit. So I put my portion in there, and there was specific stuff. And I'm just saying, just because some of it might be helpful. It was just basically about how the quality and our patient outcomes, that quality is not just, how accurate are we reading our imaging. It also has to do with patient satisfaction. How long are they waiting for their appointments, that kind of stuff. Medicare is also going to start reimbursing fully for that quality measurement that includes all of those kind of soft pieces in 2017. So it's going to prepare us for the future as well. And we can always dial down those numbers if you think they're high. I mean, personally, it just kind of depends on, if you have a high Medicare population or not. We could say we have a younger population, so we don't have a lot of Medicare comparative. I think it was around 40-ish% of the number of patients. When I divided it all up, it came out to be about 40%. And then Medicare pays very, very little, compared to what HMO does. That's why there should be a very large difference between the two.
And like I said, I think the numbers are fine, just as long as Ricardo makes, refers to it and says why these are the numbers, and that's part of his 2 paragraphs, so that's fine.
Well, and if we can, like your CT and your MRIs, they just vary. They can be from $240 to, $12,000, depending on what type of MRI you're having. That's the problem. So taking an average in between there is kind of where that number came from. We could say we have I don't know.
The average. All right. Are there any other items you want Ricardo to add?
No,
I told him mine. Do you have any others that you think need to be on there, and we can move to our next topic? I told you all mine, Ricardo.
So I want to just clarify for the budget template, you're going to go ahead and add some of the things that Dina had requested. And then what about the narrative or the paragraph that we kind of asked the instructor, about whether that needed to be on the template or not? She said it didn't. We could put it in our paper. Is that what we're talking about that you're going to do, or do we all need to contribute to that?
No, that's Ricardo's, his 20 points, cost, benefits, budget, justification. That's his part.
Okay.
Agreed.
The one that he already started on. Now we just have to tweak it up.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Because that's pretty much what I started in the last posting, right? So.
Right.
Like
you just
right.
fine-tune it to what we're doing now. And
Exactly.
Ricardo, you saw Angela put in there that we need to take that table out, right? Because that table is already in our budget. We don't need to put it in there. We don't have the space for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So if you look on the budget plan paper, because I kind of that's where I pasted copy all our discussion postings. I think I made a comment that we should. I agree with Dina that we should just take that table out because it's kind of redundant. It's already on the budget template. But also just the verbiage. I think you said I, and I think I don't know if we want to say we or DHRA or however we want to say it. And it's just to help it flow. So nothing big and major. I think, and I don't know why Leanne's not here tonight, but I think Leanne needs to look at that as well. Dina added a lot to her section because it was actually pretty minimal. So I appreciate you doing that, Dina. It's for, we all want to get as many points as we can. So, but I think Leanne should probably go ahead and do the tweaking. I put a couple comments in, and it's just very specifically who's doing it and how are they going to ensure that it gets done. Their magic wand and fairy dust, or are we going to have, you know, I mean, it's just very specific as far as how we're going to implement it, that's all. So,
backing up one quick second when Ricardo takes that graph out. So, Ricardo, that was kind of representing the whole staffing justification. So, if we take the graph out, make sure you have a couple sentences justifying our staffing, right?
Right, indeed.
And I put a comment, I think, below that, just because the verbiage went with that graph, that we're just going to have to change the verbiage with that. I don't think it needs to be a lot, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
So the business plan, when we the budget template kind of goes in with the budget. So budget, or the template, Ricardo, when are you going to have that completed?
The template? I'll have that done tonight.
Okay. And then, can you, what kind of document is that? Can you, when it's complete, just so I don't have to take it from Google Docs, can you email it to me just so that I have it?
So what I'll do is that I will email it to you. I'll convert it to a Word doc, and then I'll email it to you.
Okay, sweet.
When you finalize that, Ricardo, can you put on the Google Doc there that, you know, this is finalized, and then maybe stop the editing thing so that people don't mess with your numbers?
Absolutely.
I'll do that at the same time so we know it's done. And because, like I said today, I was going to add some stuff, and I was going, oh no, I don't want to mess up those tallies and everything. So anyway, So just when you do want to do the other, so we know it's done and no one messes with it.
Okay, I actually have a question. Do you want me to, at the very bottom, I have the total revenues and how we're going to pay off the capital request? Do you want me to keep that information?
That was our break-even point, right?
Right.
No, I think that's good. What do you think, Anjanette?
Yeah, so tell me what the break-even point, what month we're break-even on?
So we're actually going to break even in November. November's our last payment for the capital request.
Okay, and then we're going to start profit in December?
Correct. We actually make profit. So we're making profit the whole time.
Yeah.
But we're making $150,000 payments every month for 5 months, because our total capital request is $750,000. So at 150.
Sorry. And so if our numbers anywhere, I think this high or whatever, well, you know, and that's why I went up through the year, because I think next week we have to come with a marketing plan. So that kind of goes in, why are our numbers going up? Well, we're going to have machines that have the capabilities, number one, but you know, whatever we do in our marketing plan hopefully is why we're bringing in more patients. But
sure.
You know, I think somewhere along the line other teams are going to look at our stuff and they're going to critique it, and then we have to write a paper based on what I think changes we're going to make based on those critiques. So I think it's okay for us to have high number. You know what I mean? That way we have something to adjust.
We have something to write about later on. Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. Absolutely.
Are you there, Ricardo?
I'm here.
Okay.
Do we need to say anything in our plan about the hours change? Because I don't see that noted anywhere, because I don't think we had that finalized when we posted that on D2L, and I'm wondering if in our budget plan, which is why we reduced the FTEs, but we never anywhere addressed the reduction in hours, you know, because the one was open until 7 p.m. and then it was also open on Saturdays, and I think we made and we can change it right now. I mean, nobody knows, and our numbers can be spread out, but did we decide that we were gonna I think we need to include it in the plan, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that we're only going to operate Monday through Friday?
That we're going to do Monday through Friday, and we could do 9 to 6 or 8 to 5 or whatever we decide. But I think we need to address that because we didn't do it anywhere. We just haven't talked about it.
Under the implementation plan, when we talk about moving staff over and stuff like that, would it fit in there?
Probably.
'Cause there's
Probably.
Leanne. She can hear us there.
Were
Hi,
we
Leanne.
supposed to start earlier?
7:30.
Oh, I had 8 down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We just been yakking away.
So budget template, Ricardo's going to have that done tonight. We have a couple suggestions that he's going to go ahead and tweak, and I think that's it. Did you have anything you wanted to add regarding the template? Have you had a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I looked at it quite a bit this weekend. I think, once everything gets plugged in, and now that we've made, the adjustments to which one to use, and
Ricardo has it all finished right now. It's in there right now. So we're just asking if you want to add anything to it before he finalizes it.
Yeah, it's pretty much done now.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I think the suggestions that had been made this weekend were great. So.
And okay, and then for the business plan, Leanne, I think on our Google Docs, our working doc on the business plan, we had just talked about. Dina had worked on the implementation, added a few things in there. If you could just go in and kind of tweak, I put a couple comments in. I think her suggestions were great. I think it added a lot to that. But I think for me, a little bit more specific as to who is responsible for that. Is it the nurse manager? Is our nurse manager our project coordinator? Or are we going to have a separate project coordinator coordinate all of this? Because we're writing about, yeah, this is all going to happen, but we don't say how it's going to happen or who's going to be leading the pack. That's all. And I just think that needs to be addressed in the implementation plan. And you can always email me or call me if you have questions, but I just put some comments in there. I just went, who? And then I think...
Can I ask you one more question, Anjanette, while you're on that topic?
Yeah.
Do you think that her section needs more rationale for the decisions? I put in some rationales for different things. Do you think we need more to make it a little stronger, or do you think there's enough rationale in that section?
I mean, I think some of the stuff you can't really do a rationale for. I mean, it's...
Well, it just says that they want... comprehensive plan with rationale. So, them, they always like it, right? I just want everybody's opinion, if they think it's enough, or do you think there should be more?
I think if you're going to, I'm just going to throw this out there. It doesn't have to be that way, and I say this just because I have way too many project managers in my department. I do not know what they do, so frankly, I would give them this. But project managers, that's what they do. Now, as a nurse manager, when we did a very big move in our clinic, we had to do a lot of stuff. I served as a project manager, but we also had a separate department, for a project management department that also helped with it. So, there can be rationale that we're going to have a designated project manager assigned that the nurse manager can work with, and the rationale for that is because of what project managers do to ensure timeliness, and essentially they serve as a general contractor. I don't know, there's going to be a rationale if we look at for a reference out there, but they're the ones that are going to keep everything on track. I mean, putting this onto the nurse manager by themselves may be a little bit too much, so the rationale to have a project manager may be so that this is what their skill set is. You know what I mean? That's what they're good at. Something to that effect.
Okay.
As far as the rationales for any of the other areas, I would have to look at them again to comment, to be honest.
That was my only last comment, is if we need a little bit more rationale. I did some, but I just didn't know if they thought more. So just take a look at Leanne, and where you can make it a little bit stronger. Just remember that's what they want.
Okay.
Did someone, I want to ask, I was looking for an article, and I think it was you, Anjanette. They had a reference to an article about downsizing or moving facilities. Does that ring a bell with anybody? I was trying to find it today, and I couldn't find it under anybody's discussion boards. But
yeah, I had it. It was a public health, a community health or public health thing, and they were downsizing.
Was that the one with the staffing and stuff, staff morale, by Proust?
I don't remember.
I got that.
I remember the article.
There was another one that was actually about moving and downsizing, but I could just be, dreaming. I don't know. Does it ring a bell? Okay. move on.
I don't know.
I'll keep looking.
So I need to get everybody's feedback a little bit on the evaluation piece. I had some plans on what I was going to do for tweaking, but there's a moving target based on what the other so I didn't want to do it and then have to change it depending on what we did. So I'm going to kind of just refer back to the team so that when I tweak my piece, I'm going to try and work on this tomorrow, that I'm going to hit all the points that maybe aren't there in the D2L thing. But again, I had some ideas, but just to kind of go down the list a little bit, it looks like, Dina, you said so this was regarding the 2 financial outcomes and the 2 patient outcomes. And
are we talking about the business plan evaluation?
yes.
Okay.
So that's my portion, and I need to tweak my portion. So the 2 financial outcomes and the 2 patient outcomes, I think originally I had put the break-even point and then the when we're going to make a profit point. And that was just, I was just shooting out thoughts at that point. So let's just touch on those. What are the 2 financial outcomes that we want to look at in our evaluation for the plan?
Well, basically, I think we want to turn around. Both have been losing money, so we want to get to a point where we're actually either breaking even or making
the break even. So we'll keep that. Okay.
I think that's probably most important. And then,
do we want to put something in there about the satisfaction, since that was a big piece? Could that maybe be one, since that was a big thing as to what they were struggling with?
Patient, but not. She's talking financial.
So just
right
for
now.
the financial, because I did address that in the patient outcome, but we'll get to that here in just a second.
And then a profit for the coming. That we.
So you're fine break even and profit?
Yeah, that we recover everything that we put into it by moving and break even, and then we continue on. We continue to grow and make a profit.
Adding, continue to grow. Okay, and then the 2 patient outcomes. I think I originally had said patient, because patient satisfaction scores were originally down. I said that our patient satisfaction scores will need to be reviewed for specific areas of dissatisfaction, because there was nothing ever given to us as far as what they were dissatisfied about. We knew that the drive was part of it, but who knows? And those areas will need to be identified and a plan developed to address these. So that was one. And then the other one was to ensure that our imaging studies will be read within 24 hours, which that was based on, I don't know if it was the medical director or whoever said that in their video, but I wanted just to include that to ensure that the instructor knew that we read that piece. So those were the 2 outcomes that I had come up with, but I think and I think, Leanne, you had said something, and I actually, in the paper that we started for our cost effectiveness paper, our new paper this week, I actually addressed that we, part of that, being able to get it read and sooner was because we were upgrading equipment. So I just wanted to make sure that I was hitting the pieces that everybody wanted me to hit.
I think we could go for a goal, and maybe we could do this in, like, when we do our later stuff, but a goal faster than 24 hours, because there's that one article I have about the top patient satisfaction thing was that patients wanted their results like within hours versus a day.
Well, they can have it if they have an electronic medical record, but if they have abnormal results, they're not going to be getting those within a couple hours.
But we can improve, I think, on the 24 hours, especially since it would be a way to justify the equipment that Ricardo puts in the budget for that tele-monitoring imaging thing. So that we could maybe say a goal would be that we cut the time in half, like say, you could say 12 hours or, pick a number or whatever. That could be something we could do for goals and stuff. Just because we do have those articles to support all that.
Mm-hmm.
So you want it read within 12 hours?
Well, it could just be a goal, something to work towards. That we'll guarantee them in 24, but we're going to work to 12 or something like that.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, because this is going to be this is how we're evaluating the plan. So is our plan successful? Yeah. Okay. And I think, Ricardo, you had mentioned something about comparing the two older budgets with the new budget will enable us
Right.
to compare apples to apples. I'm not sure I really know how to say that. So I'm just asking for your help.
I think being able to compare the CT MRI budget, because this is 2015, 2016. So why don't we say 2014, 2015 budget from CT MRI and the breast imaging center to current productivity
Okay.
or current budgets.
Because they've been losing money. We don't know how much money, but they've been losing money. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Cool beans. I'll do that. I'll work on that a little bit tomorrow. And then our whole paper has to be under 10 pages. So, Ricardo, when you convert that to a Word doc, how many pages do you think that's going to be?
Honestly, I think it'll be 2 pages.
Oh, okay.
I'll work to consolidate it to 2 pages.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Ricardo,
Anything else about-
one question on the budget template. You know when you put benefits
Yes.
to our staff? On mine, when I was working with mine, I put a little star, and I put at the bottom of the thing how I calculated the benefits, and I got that out of our, you might need to make a note, got it out of our Dunham-Taylor book.
Yes.
On page 482, where you take the person's salary and you multiply it times 1.25, and I don't know what you did. You can do others. It just depends on what percent of benefits you want to give them. But you might need to make a little note about like a star, and then at the bottom put, calculated based on 25%, which is multiplying it times 1.25, or whatever you did. How much benefit did you give us?
That was actually based on the data that Anjanette gave me. I could go back and calculate what that benefit is.
Oh, you mean the one I gave you? Those figures?
Oh, you know what? Yes, it was the. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I missed you, Ricardo. I froze out there. So were those from my figures, the benefits and the salaries?
Yes, Dina. Those were from your figures.
Okay. Then I did use, and I took it right from the book, so we're calculating 25% of the salary for benefits. You can go between, they say 25 and 40, but I picked 25 on the low side. So each salary was multiplied by 1.25 to give that 25% benefit number. So on the benefit column, just put a little star, and at the end of the paper say this figure was derived from calculating salary times 1.25 for a 25% increase for bonuses. If you want to quote Dunham-Taylor, you can put that in there too.
Okay.
Page 482 in Dunham-Taylor's where I got that. So I think we should probably note that, because otherwise they're going to say, where'd you get this figure?
Sure.
You can put it on the side or the bottom, whatever.
We're not
Okay.
union, but we don't have good benefits.
But and again, for future, when we have to, like you said, maybe that could be something we could raise too. So that'll be for future paper.
Right.
Right.
I mean, if we're making that much profit, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, we might be able to share more.
I
Okay.
agree.
Anything else for the plan?
Anything for what?
The budget plan?
The template?
Nope. Budget template. We've already moved on. This is just the budget plan. Our individual pieces for the big
paper.
100-point paper.
Anybody got questions now or needs assist or anything, Leanne? You got what you got to do?
Yeah, yep, I'll go through it again and kind of just tweak a few things and
Add more rationale and more hows and whys, right?
And then Ricardo is going to add a narrative regarding the justification for what's on the. Well, he's already started that though.
He's going to
Right.
tweak the paragraphs.
Okay.
Right.
And then,
Right.
Okay, on to the cost effectiveness paper. So I did again a Google Doc. I just figured it would be easier once to have it all in one place. But I did finish up my portion. I did put notes in there that it was about 3/4 of a page long. with the double spacing. So I can always dial that down if I need to. Our whole paper is supposed to be maximum of 3 pages long with everybody's stuff in there. So just keep that in mind when we don't go hog wild crazy and go for 2 pages because we're not gonna have room.
That's really probably about 2 paragraphs per person, right? What you say about? With
Yeah,
double.
depends on how long your paragraphs are, but yeah. And then the business plan. When do we want to have all the components together? Like Leanne, when are you going to have your piece done?
For the cost-effective paper?
Nope. I'm sorry. I'm going backwards. For the budget or for the business plan for the big 100-point paper. For you just had a little minor tweaking.
Yep, I can do that tomorrow, and I'll try to get it done in the morning. It all depends on when my daughter decides to take a nap, which is usually around 11.
Well, no problem. I won't look at it till later in the day anyway.
Okay, that's usually my working time.
Okay. And I'm just asking so that, when I kind of paste and copy it, if we're over 10 pages or whatever, that we can all kind of decide what needs to go. And
Sure.
That kind of
Sure.
And I will try. I'm going to try and have mine done. It's going to kind of depend. We have a 3-person department and 1 person is out tomorrow. So if my queue is really high tomorrow, I may not get to it at all during work. I can get a lot done if I have the time. I'm just afraid I'm not going to get it done. I may not have my evaluation done until Thursday, and I'm just going to say I'll have it done by Thursday evening, but I'm going to try and have it done tomorrow.
So you tell us when you want us to have them submitted, because none of us have that much work to do on them.
Well, I would like to have all the pieces at least in there by Thursday, and then that way I have an opportunity. What?
Thursday a.m. gives to time.
No, Thursday p.m. is fine.
Okay.
And then
So you mean just in the doc.
Yeah, in the budget plan doc, and then Ricardo's going to send a separate Word doc for the template.
Okay,
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't somewhere else.
Yeah, and then that way I can paste and copy that into I was telling Dina I use an electronic program that kind of puts the header and the page numbers and does the formatting.
Is it Perla?
So.
Yeah.
I think, though, that there's some tweaking with the 6th edition, because what I'm noticing, at least when I use the same reference and I use it, like, let's say I use it in the next sentence, my understanding is you're not supposed to include the year, that you just include the author on the second thing, but Perla includes the year. So I've got to look back. I got docked just like half a point on one of my discussions for that, so I want to see what she docked to see if that's what it was. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all together, paste and copy the references that everybody puts in, and then I'm going to send that Word doc to everybody to look at way before we submit it. So hopefully I can do that by Friday, and then everybody needs to read through it, make sure we don't need to change any verbiage, that it flows good, that we don't need to change any references if the references look goofy, because they're going to take off, what, 1/4 of a point? Is that what she said, for every minor comma we have wrong? And then I want to get everybody's approval. What I was saying to Dina before you got on, Ricardo, too, is that what I thought what might work is once I put it together, it depends on how it looks, but what I can do is like send it to one person. That person can look at it and tweak it if it's needed, and then send it to the next person, send it to the next person, so that it's not going out and everybody's kind of tweaking, and then it might be hard to figure out what pieces we're
Do like a round robin. I think that's good.
Yeah, just kind of hand it off. Okay, I'm done, you done, this is what I think, or whatever, and then we could be done. So who wants it? Because I don't know everybody's schedule. So Deanie, you're working the weekend, right?
You know what recommendation I would make to that too, though, is so that we don't lose track of the original document.
Yeah.
When we do make changes, maybe we should each be assigned a color.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
So we know what's been changed and what we can work on.
Okay. I'll take a color. What color you guys want?
I'll be green.
I'll be red.
I can be blue.
Green, red, blue. I'll be yellow, or no, something readable. Orange. How about orange? I don't know if I changed anything. Okay. So what I'll do, so Dina, you're working on the weekend, right?
Right.
You work Friday night?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So maybe I should send it to Dina first,
Okay.
depending on when I get it done or whatever.
I
and
agree.
Then I'll send it to Dina first, and then Dina, who do you want to send it to? Ricardo, Leanne, Leanne, what's your schedule this weekend?
I don't work this weekend. I just work Thursday.
Okay.
So,
So I'll send it to Leanne, then Leanne send it to Ricardo.
Okay. And then send it
Sounds
back
good.
to me.
Back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, I mean, and if I don't get it back until like Saturday evening or whatever, I think that's fine. And then we'll just make some final tweaks, and then if I need to, I'll send an email out Sunday morning to everybody, but we'll get it submitted. If I can, I'll submit it Saturday night. Otherwise, I'll just plan on doing it on Sunday.
And what did you say you wanted to just keep it on the Google Doc edit thing? That's where you want it?
No, I'm going to email you.
I don't know, right now, as we're working on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
keep, that way I can paste a
then you're
copy.
gonna take it from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And that'll be both for the budget and for the cost effectiveness papers. So the budget is my biggest issue. The cost effectiveness paper, it's like whatever. I can just send it, and I can just send it to see if everybody thinks it's okay. Or do you want me to do that?
Yeah, that can be more general.
Okay. I'll send a send all email with once that one is done, the cost effectiveness paper for everybody to look at. And if you have comments, then just reply all. That way everybody sees it, and then I'll get that done as soon as we have it done.
And when do you want us to have that submitted to you?
I would by Thursday preferably. It's really not that bad. It's only 5 points. Well, Dina, I think yours is 10 points, but each of us, our sections are 5 points each. So
It's kind of basically just like the discussion, like 2 paragraphs. So.
and I was thinking that for my part, I have to wait for Dina to do hers.
and I think she was going to have hers done by tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't do it today. I was doing other writings and stuff, so I will have it tomorrow for sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect, because I can certainly work on it Friday, too.
Yeah, be in Google Docs, so.
Okay. I just didn't want to contradict anything that you were saying, as this is what we did good, and then I say, well, this could improve.
So these are the 4 things I'm going to talk about, is the buying the 3D mammogram and using your reference as to why it's good because of high cost of money on false positives. I'm going to talk about why the computer programming for transmitting, the building consolidation, and the staffing. Those are my 4 main budget items I'm going to discuss. So if that helps you at all.
Sure, perfect.
So what do we want Leanne to hit for improvement then on that? What can we improve? Because it all sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to really think about this hard. You know, I was trying to think of a way to talk about how maybe, you know, how we have referenced a little bit that it is hard in the first year of any business to break even or make a profit. But then again, we have a pretty good plan.
We're doing pretty good on the template, profit-wise.
Yeah.
You know, something that I read in the budget development is that maybe the staffing ratio, you should have a 65-35 staffing ratio, where 65% is full-time and 35% is part-time or PRN. Maybe we can improve that.
You could talk about that since I'm going to talk about staffing, then you could talk about that. That'd be good.
Because are you mainly going to focus on that we're consolidating?
Yeah, that we decrease staff, which is going to contribute to less costs and more efficient running of the building when they're working together, basically. So.
And then I can touch on the, you know, maybe that since it kind of sounds like everybody's full-time, that
the staffing rationales
could still improve by making part-time full-time.
Right. Staffing ratios.
That's great.
What was that reference asked that she can look that up, Ricardo?
That is here, chapter 13. Let me find the page number. It is page 486.
Perfect.
In which book?
That is financial management for the nurse managers. The Dunham Taylor Pinchuk.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
And then I was going to read
totally
through
off
the paper.
subject. Entrepreneurial book. Did you guys buy it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I rented it.
I rented it
Yeah, I
too.
rented the electronic version. Like, I didn't buy the electronic version. I rented the electronic version because it was like over $200 for even a used one. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Half the time I don't even look at the book, so I'm not.
I know.
There's no way.
I thought long and hard about that. I was like, oh, it's so much
I
money,
know.
you know, and sometimes you don't even use it.
I found an old raggedy copy somebody was selling for I think $120, so I just bought it.
Wow.
Okay. No.
Just to add to the you know, cost that, not like we're paying enough.
No.
That's exactly right. So
Okay.
I'm
All right, so
what I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure what I should cover with the overall effectiveness of the plan. I mean, I don't even know how to support that.
for the cost effectiveness paper.
Right. For my portion, where I have to describe the overall effectiveness of the plan. I mean, do I just say, well, we're making a profit, so clearly we're we're effective?
Overall effective. Overall effective.
You know, it is pretty repetitive, but have you noticed that in almost all the papers they ask us to write, it's kind of repetitive for the whole semester? So to me, it sounds the same stuff that they want.
I mean, it kind of seems like mine's going to be a summary of all three of yours.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you could just write about like how, you know, consolidating 2 into 1, streamlining processes, you know, consolidating costs. We're making the people happier because we're moving.
Patient outcomes.
You know, yeah, it's repetitive for sure, no doubt.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you. That does give me a sense of direction.
Are you okay with how you have to kind of revise your business paragraphs there? To me, that seemed kind of like a big job.
No, I'm fine with that. In fact, I'm going to try to get all that done tonight.
Right. It seemed like a lot to me, but I think now that the template's done, you can just kind of work off the template. It'll be a lot easier.
Right. Right.
So,
my concern is that I put too much information because there's a lot of information on that template
yeah.
Right.
to address.
We do have approximately 8 pages, but
Okay.
we're probably getting pretty close to that already.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, but keep in mind it's going to be double spaced.
I know, that's killer.
Yeah. So.
Yes, ma'am.
If it needs tweaking, I'm going to send it all out, or I'll send an email or whatever and ask everybody what 14 pages. Then we'll have to make some decisions on what we're going to do.
I agree. Okay.
Okay, so I just want to recap, make sure we're all on the same page. So budget template, you're going to finish that up, and you're going to email that to me in a Word doc just so we can attach it or whatever. Do we plan on doing that directly into the Word doc, or are we going to send a separate doc with that? With the submittal, are we going to put it into the doc?
I put it into it, and so it all goes together.
Okay. So
yeah, because this has got to be part of the 10 pages.
Right.
So yeah, so
send that to me. So when that's all done, then I can put it together, and then for the budget plan, finish our pieces or whatever on that, and we'll have that done by Thursday, and then I'll put the template into the Perla and see how many pages we have, and then send out a red alert or whatever if we need to. But let's just assume it's 10 pages long. I will send that only to Dina. Dina will then make any changes that she deems necessary, designated color. She will send that to Leanne, and then Leanne will send that to Ricardo. Vice will all put that.
Sorry.
Well, whatever email you want, but I'm not sending it to everybody. I'm sending. This is just the budget plan. I'm going to send it to Dina first, and then we'll just make a round robin. Again, just assuming we're at 10 pages. If not, we'll. And then the cost effectiveness, when that's all done, when all the pieces are, I'll put that in Perla, assuming we're under 3 pages. Then I will just make it as pretty as I can, send it to everybody, and then everybody comment if they're good on having it submitted as is or if they want something changed. And again, be as critical as you want, just because we're all, you know, if we, especially with the references, I think if anybody has any comments about those, just go ahead and change them. I'm relying on my Perla program, but when I paste and copy everybody's references from that, Perla's not going to double check that, because I would have to enter everything. And I'm just going to paste and copy however they're entered into the doc. So, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Angela, send it to my cat email.
Okay, I think everybody uses the cat email, but Leanne, for the Google Hangouts, you like the Gmail. So do you want to have it sent to your Gmail?
One, you know, either, whatever. It doesn't really matter for just a general email, but for some reason my school one wouldn't work with the Google Hangout before. So just to avoid that, I just said Gmail because I didn't know if it would.
Okay, well, I'm going to be sending it to you. What do you want me to send it to?
Yeah, the cat mail is perfectly fine.
Make sure I have that. Yep, I got it. Okay, that's where you'll get it, your cat mail.
Okay,
It
sounds
was
good.
weird, you guys. In my other groups, nobody ever used their cat mail.
I've never used it before either this semester. Now it's like crazy using it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. I don't check it. So, I have too many emails.
I just have one quick question. When I was thinking about some other things to do for the things that could improve. Under the rationale for the business plan, I did notice, rereading through it, that there was some disadvantages listed, like the consolidation related to the staff and the financial costs. Do you guys feel like that is something that I can kind of roll with on something that could be a disadvantage?
That needs improvement?
Because it's in our first paper under the rationale for business plan. There's one that talks about staffing continues to be a concern for healthcare organizations, that there's a large turnover.
Oh, because there's just because we're reducing staff doesn't mean we're going to something around how to improve morale, or team building or something around that, since this is a new venture, and kind of give employees kind of ownership of this, or just something around that to help with the turnover. That might be a good opportunity, as something to improve on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that kind of just go off of what was in that paper, just kind of go from there, but I didn't want to start on it if it was going to be something you guys didn't agree on.
I think that's good.
Okay.
You're talking about the cost effectiveness, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You could also maybe add in there too, since you're right there in that same section, is to broaden our target population, because right now I just stated our target population to be the neighborhood area and the hospital patients. But maybe that could be something we could expand on that. And you
especially if we have those new machines.
We want to be
so
regional center. We want the region to come to us, not just our local people.
Okay.
So that could be the third one right there. That would work too.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds good. I just wanted to run it by you before I put it all in there, and then.
Well, and then we can include that in our marketing plan.
I agree.
Thinking ahead.
Dina, did you say something about we needed to do a video presentation next week? Did it cut out, or was that?
It looks like, I'm assuming that we have to. It's our marketing plan in a video. We'll probably have to get on and we're going to present it to Dura. That's what I'm thinking. Or we're going to present it to investors to convince them to do our plan. That's what I'm thinking it is. But we will see when they open it up.
Okay.
So if we do that, I hope we're going to do it on it. We can't. We cut out too much on the system. We're going to have. Maybe they want us to do it on Google Hangout or something like that would be better.
What was the one? Did you guys have the class where you had to do it on
Vero or whatever? Yeah.
Something like that.
We could figure it out. We ended up doing a Google Hangout.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it.
My son helped me. I did it, but I saw a lot of people did the Google Hangouts or YouTube Hangouts.
Vimeo or Vimeo or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I kept the paper for it, but I don't know how to use it still. So, I think you're right. I don't know why, and maybe it's just me. And Dina, you cut out, but I don't know if it's my reception. I don't know. And I know I do. We've just had really crappy weather. I don't know, but if that's it or if it's my connection, but we'll see how long it is if we ended up having to do it.
We will see next Sunday when they release it, Saturday. I'm sure it'll be fun, whatever it is, right?
Probably I'll have to roll or something.
Yes.
Right. All right.
Any more things on
So
your
next week. Nope, that's it. Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah, same time, same place, yes.
7:30. 8. Hello.
7:30 is fine by, or 7:30 is fine by me.
I think
Same
we
time,
need
same
to
place.
say something, but it cut out. Hold on. Let's give her a minute. Leanne,
Yes.
Sorry, I'm back. I think I froze.
you did. What were you going to say?
Next Tuesday, I have to work a night shift. Didn't even dawn on me when we did the Tuesday thing because I work like one night shift every 3 months.
Okay.
But so I work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I won't be able to do next Tuesday.
Okay.
Well, we want to do Monday or Wednesday.
I'm free on both of those. So whatever works for everybody else.
I say go Wednesday.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
Monday's a
think
little hard.
Monday's
Right.
hard. I mean, I could do Monday. I just don't know how prepared I'll be.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, and then if we
Okay,
need to
let's
go
plan
back
on
and forth,
Wednesday.
we can call or text or whatever if we need to decide anything before Wednesday. Like I said, it's going to be that
Yeah.
video presentation, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we want to do Wednesday at 7:30.
I like 7:30. Do you
Okay.
guys?
I'm sorry. For some reason, I had that 8 o'clock in my head tonight.
That's okay.
It's 'cause the other
7:30
two-
Mountain Standard.
Okay, 7:30 next Wednesday.
And that is the 20, oh, that is June, right?
Right.
Yep.
Like the 2nd or something.
The 3rd.
3rd. Sorry. 2nd was Tuesday.
So, do you guys, if we have to just meet really quickly to divide up something, or, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can try and do it by D2L, but if there's an issue, do you guys want to meet Monday quickly versus, I don't know, if we had to?
Yeah.
I'm
I think
I'm fine with
available.
that.
We should leave it open because with the video, who knows what they're going to ask us to do.
Right. Okay, we'll just keep Monday as a if we need it, but we're not going
Same
to set up a
time?
time for it. Yeah, I would say Monday at 7:30 if we need it, and we shouldn't need more than 15 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
Just
That's June 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I said, who knows what they're going to have us do.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay.
Hey, we're halfway done after this week.
I know. This week is the big week. Get through here. We got it pretty much under control, I think, right?
Well, and
So-
and I just want to say, this is a big point, to work on a group project together.
Yeah.
So I know, everybody's probably going, oh my God, because we all have to rely on each other if we're part of our grade. So I just want to acknowledge that, and I just want to, tell everybody how much I appreciate the hard work that you're putting into it. Ricardo, you put in a lot of work into that template, and I know Dina, you did too, even though we didn't use that one. But, and I think, everybody just wants to get as much, points out of it as we can. And, I think working on group projects, you don't know, and we don't have time to build up that trust with each other. So I think we're doing good. I think we're halfway there. We got that template almost, completely done. It looks great to me, and we're well on our way to having this plan put together too. So I think we're really ahead. I think we're probably doing better than a lot of the other groups, frankly. But so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for that. So I'm just
Touche.
that.
Yeah.
I'd like to second that emotion.
Yes.
Get out here, too. Everybody's doing great.
Thank you all.
Cool.
Okay?
Thanks for being a strong group.
Hopefully Monday, and if not, Wednesday for sure.
Perfect.
Have a good night,
Ciao.
everyone.
All right.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.